Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I will discuss Elephant by Raymond Carver today in this lecture. Elephant is the story published in 1988, and Raymond Carver's timeline says that he was born in 1938 and he died in 1988 due to lung cancer. Before proceeding to discuss the story, we read something about the author. So who was Raymond Carver? He was an American writer, and he used to depict working class and their problems in his fiction. Another trait of his writing is that he was a minimalist. And what is minimalism? What is being minimalist? Minimalism in literature is that it draws the reader into the story by making them conceptualize missing details. That means that the writer, the author, does not state everything directly. Rather, most of the details are unsaid, most of the details are implied, and they are left for the reader to understand and to make sense of. This trait is very much like Hemingway's. Therefore, this is said that his art of depiction, his style of depiction is influenced by Hemingway. As in Hemingway too, we see that he does not state all the details directly, rather most of the details are implied and they are left for the reader to understand. Therefore, Hemingway's works are analyzed by using the iceberg theory. If you wanted to see more, you may go explore the iceberg theory and you would get more details about the minimalism and about Hemingway and his art of depiction. Moving towards the characters, so how many characters are there? We have one major character who is the narrator of the story, who is the protagonist of the story. What is the protagonist? Protagonist means the main character, the major character, or the hero. So the narrator is the major character and all the other characters are associated with him. They are the daughter, the son, they are the mother, the brother, and the former wife. So we see the traits of the narrator. Who is he? The first thing that we notice about the narrator is that he is being unnamed. And when one is being unnamed, that means that that individual represents the all sorts like him. Like he represents the kinds of individuals who are like him. He represents them all. He lives alone. He supports his family with his hard-earned income. Because he had to support himself, he had to support his family, therefore making it very hard for him to make both ends meet. This we see in the text too. He was shown as a very hardworking individual, individual who used to make struggles in his life, who used to support his family, his own self. And he's being shown as a hardworking individual, as it says in the text that I kept my nose to the grindstone. I got up early every morning and went to work and worked hard all day. He makes sacrifices for the family by cutting off his own expenses. You may see in the text too, the family continues to become more and more dependent on him as the story develops. So with the development of the story, we see the family is getting more and more dependent upon him, therefore making it very hard for him to live, to survive on his hard-earned income. So he continues to send, we get to know through the text that he continues to send money to his daughter, to his son, to his mother, and to his ex-wife. Though he knows them and he considers them all greedy. But he sees that his responsibility, he sees that as his duty and his obligation to support them all, to help them all, because he was shown as a responsible, conscientious individual and not a careless fellow. This we may also see in this instance, as is given over there, that I don't know how much I spent on phone calls and I wish I had 50 cents for every letter I wrote, telling him what I had told her and telling her what to expect from him, that sort of thing. So what does that state? That's the time when he lent his brother an amount of around that was $500, and when he lent him the money and he promised that he would return him, he said that he needed to return back to the mother and not to him. And in order to ensure this thing, he used to make phone calls both to the brother and to the mother, and he had written letters in order to describe all the details, in order to ensure his mother that she would get the money, and in order to ensure that his brother is going to send her the money. So for that he took pains and he tried to fulfill his commitments and his obligation, which shows that he was a responsible and a conscientious individual who takes care of his family, who was a caring person, unlike his brother or his other family members. He dreams about his father as an elephant, and later on, as he also had taken on the role of his father in his own life. So this happens around the end of the story, where he dreams, where he was very fed up with his life and with his life routine and with his hard work and struggle, that at that moment he had a dream about his father. There he sees his father as an elephant. Elephant over here, that's a literal reference to elephant means, or what we understood about elephant is that this is a reference to somebody who supports others. And this is the role that he also had taken on after his father. So in the end, what happened, that he let go the things and enjoys his ride with George in his unpaid car. So this is the moment when, after the dream, his father advised him to let go the things. And this is what he followed his advice. He let go the things, and as a result he enjoyed his ride with George, who was his colleague, in his unpaid car. This was the end of the story. Now we see the salient traits of the other characters of the story, including his brother, because in the beginning we find the introduction of his brother, and his brother was asking him for the money, and he was telling him about his problems and the way he is going to return the money. And these are there. We could also find some statements in support of all these traits that I had written down over here, that his brother was shown as a manipulative individual, he was shown as a greedy individual, a lazy individual, and a chatty fellow. We see that he used to say, "I've gone belly up, but you can help me pull out of it. But you are my last resort. I won't let you down." And this days we find the repetition of this "I won't let you down" in the text. And he also says at one instance that "I wish I could sell my blood." So he was a very manipulative individual, and he used to get money out from him time and again, with the promise that he would return the money, but he never did. Next we see his daughter. His daughter was also shown no less a manipulative person. She was a manipulative individual who used to send him the letters by describing his problems, the problems of his kids, and through that, by using this emotional blackmailing technique, she also used to draw money from him, and therefore she was also shown as a selfish individual. His mother, the narrator's mother, who was an old lady who was dependent upon him, but she also has resentments that she was a burden upon him. And at one instance, she had also raised it. She had also voiced it that she was a burden upon him, and soon she is going to get some job and she is going to support herself. But that was not possible at her age. And she was also shown to be having more caring attitude towards his younger son, and who was Belly, like his brother was named as Belly. So she had a more caring attitude towards his younger son, who was a brother of the narrator, and not towards him, the narrator. Then we see the character of his son, who also is dependent upon him, upon the narrator, and he was also shown as an emotional guy who all the time used to threaten him that he's going to commit a suicide if he's not going to get money. So he also used the emotional blackmailing as a technique to draw money from his father. He was shown as a shirking, lazy, slacking, apathetic individual, a selfish individual, and a careless fellow. And all the textual quotes are there which support these things. And then there was his former wife, who was shown as a rational individual, as she uses the legal means to draw money from him. And she was also shown as a selfish fellow who keeps on getting money from him, no matter how hard that is for him to send her the money. But she was shown as a selfish individual who used to take money out from him no matter what. The prominent themes of the story are that of struggle, sacrifice, dependency, loyalty, support, family, theme of relationships, theme of loneliness, and the theme of selfishness. This we may see the text are used sparingly. They are sparingly. We may see the quotes are there in the story which support these themes. Firstly, we may see some quotes which support this theme of sacrifice, the support, and the loyalty. And here we see that the narrator is saying that I knew it was a mistake to let my brother have the money. He knew it, that he had the wrong assumptions, and he knew it that his brother is not going to return him the money. But since he was shown as a conscientious individual, as a caring individual who loves his family, who cares for his family, therefore he actually finds it so hard to say no to his brother. So all the time he is being manipulated, though he knew that he is being manipulated. But he did that consciously. As he was saying that I had never even seen his house, but I didn't want him to lose it. These are the references towards his brother, when he was thinking about his brother and when his brother demanded money from him. So he understood it, he knew it, that he had the false assumptions about his brother, that he was a greedy fellow, but despite this fact he sent him the money. As he says that I sent him the money. I had to. I felt I had to at any rate, no matter what. He sent him the money because he was the elder brother and he owned it. He owed it that he needed to send them the money. He used to say that I wrote him a letter when he sent the check and said he should pay the money back to our mother. If he paid her the money he owed me, it might take me off the hook there and let me breathe for a while, because he used to support his mother. So he said that instead of returning money to him, he should return back to her through their mother. So that's how he would be relieved for a while, that he had not to send money for a period of I guess 2 months. He did not need to send money to the mother because he would get it from his brother. The next line, as I already had stated there, that he was being a conscientious individual, therefore he used to make phone calls and write letters in order to ensure that the things happen the way as they are being discussed, they are being committed, and they are being promised. In 3 months, my brother gave her $50. So instead of out of those $500 that he owed to return to the brother and in a way indirectly to the mother, he gave her only $50. And I kept my nose to the grindstone. I got up early every morning and went to work and worked hard all day in order to support his family and in order to so that was kind of sacrifice made by the narrator for his family. Theme of dependency. All the family are dependent upon him, and as his brother says that I've gone belly up, but you can help me pull out of it. You are my last resort. I won't let you down. I could sell my blood for you. In 3 months, my brother gave her okay, so he returned only $50, and I didn't get my money from him, and neither did my mother. And I kept on sending her money every month. That is to the mother. I was sorry about my brother's troubles, but I had troubles of my own. In addition to my mother, I had several other people on my payroll. I had a former wife. I was sending money to every month. I had to do that. I didn't want to, but the court said I had to. So she had used the legal means to draw money from him every month. And I had a daughter with 2 kids in Bellingham, and I had to send her something every month. Her kids had to eat, didn't they? So this was kind of more emotional blackmailing technique that our daughter used to make in order to manipulate him and in order to draw money from him. Theme of trust, theme of lack of trust, as he was saying that no, but he wouldn't stiff his own mother, reference to his brother, where he was saying that he would return the money, he wouldn't stiff his own mother. Nobody would do that. But this is what he would do. This is what the brother would do. He would break his trust. And lack of trust, these lines refer to the mother's saying, where the mother is saying, what if he isn't able to pay me? What if he can't? Then what? So his mother has insecurities. She was also insecure about Belly, who was his brother and her mother's son. So she was insecure about him, that he was not able to pay her the money. Therefore, she was worried. Next is the theme of selfishness and the manipulation, and here we may see the lines as are said by the brother, I wish I could sell my blood. And then my daughter would write these letters and say how they were living on oatmeal, she and her kids. So her daughter also used to write him the letters by describing her pains, her issues, her problems, and the fact that she does not have enough money to afford a proper meal for her and her kids. Hard work, responsibility, struggle. I kept my nose to the grindstone. I got up early every morning and went to work and worked hard all day. Now let's see how much significant is the title. What is the title of the story? Elephant. So literal reference, we see that here literally the reference is to elephants, as the elephants are the hard working creatures. And here if we relate that with the story, we see that the narrator is also a hardworking and responsible individual. Another fact about elephants is that elephants give importance to family bonds and relationships in order to survive. This we may also see in the story, that the narrator is also a supportive individual. He is a symbol of loyalty and support, and like an elephant, he supports his family. Next, we see that his family's members are dependent on him and they look towards him for support, as he signifies the elephant. So therefore, his family is also dependent and look towards him for support. Narrator's family members are like white elephants. So we may also use this because the white elephants, they are like white elephants and they live on his payroll. And there is another idiomatic expression, elephant in the room, who's also very much pertinent in the story with the present story. And how that elephant in the room, actually that means that where no one speaks about the issue, and this we may see also is the case in our present story, that no one speaks about the real issue. So that's how our story is ended, and I hope you find the analysis interesting and relevant and helpful. Thank you.